Hello and welcome. I'm Logan with All Paths Taken, and this is part 1 of my 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring. In this series, I'm going to walk you through everything this game has to offer. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I'm going to cover every secret, every item, every boss, and every ending this game has to offer. So, fellow Tarnished, rise and join me on my quest to become the true Elden Lord. God, I'm excited for this journey to begin. You guys have no idea. This is one of the best, if not the best game From Software has ever made. It might not be my favorite, but boy oh boy is it close to that spot. Now, if you know what we got to do, we got to start with a new game. We're going to pick our class, which, you know, really doesn't matter in all honesty. I'm going to showcase a couple of different builds at different points, just so you know, so it's not going to be 200 hours of playthrough and I'm only doing one build. Like I said, I'm going to be covering as much as I possibly can do in a single playthrough. We're going to get as close to 100% as possible. I'm going to talk you through every ending. We're going to find all of our important items that we need for quests and all of that stuff as well. So, let's get started. What class do you think we should choose? I am leaning towards Vagabond, which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to load up a template that I already have made. Beauty. And then let's choose my name. We'll just call it Walkthrough. If I can spell. Is that right? Yes. Yes, that is right. I'm dyslexic, and you know, my brain don't work very well when it comes to reading. Alright, let's choose the Rune for more money. And we are finite. God, I'm excited. I am so excited. So, I have not made my decision at the time of recording this, but my goal was to do one video covering all of Limgrave, one video covering all of Liurnia, and so on. If you would like to see that, let me know. I will be glad to edit everything together, where it's all one long video and you guys can figure it all out together. But I think for this first episode, I'm probably just going to be playing a couple hours at a time. It would really help me out if you guys comment and like the video so I do know what you guys think and what your thoughts are on everything, right? So if we are going to go one long video at a time for Limgrave, then Weeping Peninsula, Liurnia, and etc., I need you guys to tell me that is a good idea so we can, you know, try our best, or I can try my best to get that done out in a timely manner for you guys. Alright, let's see what you got, dude. Oh, he moved away. What a cheeky man. Got him. Oh, it's probably one of the few bosses you will ever see me try to actually block. Oh, he got me. What a legend. Woo! Visceral attack, baby! Love it. You love to see it. What are you gonna do? Oh, I missed. Dang it, I missed again. Ah, he got me. Oh, he's too good. It's alright, we'll get our revenge way later. Way later. Alright, so, as I have mentioned in other walkthroughs, like in my Bloodborne one, I'm not going to be watching cutscenes unless I really decide that I want to watch it. I am assuming anybody watching this video has already beaten Elden Ring, and if they haven't, I will let them watch the cutscenes so they can enjoy it on their own time. After all, most of you guys, I believe, are here to try to get all of those items and all of those trophies, and that's what this is for. That is what this is for. Now, we're going to switch our flasks up a little bit, because we're not going to use a ton of magic on this playthrough. That's one of the few things I will say that I won't do. Like, I might showcase a spell here and there that I think is really cool, but I'm not going to make a gigantic magic build, because it really is all of the same things. Like, it really is. There's nothing super crazy or wild that magic does differently in this game compared to another game like Dark Souls 3 or even Dark Souls 2 and Demon Souls and things like that. It's really the same concept, same thing. So this section right here is your training ground or your tutorial of Elden Ring. I have tutorials off, but I just want to show you guys how all of it works, especially if you have never done this before. Because who knows, there might be some people that booted this game up for their first try and never went down the big hole. You know, there are people that have done that. I remember my first playthrough, that's exactly what I did. I was like, training, I don't need to be trained. I know how to play these games. I've played every one so far. And then little did I know that when I opened the door to Limgrave, my jaw dropped and my whole life changed because of how wild and crazy this game is. Man, I'm excited to finally get through this game for you guys for a 100% walkthrough. If I was doing like a good 30-minute episodes like I did with Bloodborne, this probably would be like, I don't know, 200 episodes long. So we're going to keep every episode around that 2.5 hour mark. See if we can get as much done as we can in terms of like exploring and so on and so forth of that nature as well. Oh, I missed my parries. There we go. Ah, toughest boss in the game right there. Hands down, toughest boss. Toughest boss. Alright, so we are going to run over here and grab that little gesture, and then we can continue on to our first area of the game. If you chose the key item or the keepsake of the stone sword key, you can use that right over here. I wouldn't really recommend doing that right now because, you know, you're like base level and there's a lot of tough enemies in that direction. There's poison, there's chariots. It's a really tough area. I don't recommend doing that right now. This would be something that you'd want to come back and do once you're at the end of Limgrave, which is what we will do. When we get near the end of Limgrave and have a couple stone sword keys, that's when we're going to come back and do that to get a cool talisman, a golden seed, and just a couple other things that are kind of important, like a spirit ash or spirit summons. I forget what they're called. But that's essentially what we can do. But man, oh man, does this look beautiful. Oh, I hope this looks as good as I think it does, because I am recording in 4K. Hopefully this is fantastic. I hope it's beautiful. We'll see. We'll see. So I did mention this before in my last video that I uploaded with Bloodborne, but I got a 4K gaming monitor. I got a PS5 Pro when it was on sale. And we're trying to test this out, see how well it records and captures on OBS to see if I can do a lot of newer videos at a higher quality of recording. So instead of doing it on 2K, I can do it on 4K, which is pretty sweet. Because if that works, I think that just brings a lot more enjoyment in for you guys. So we got our first smithing stone. If you are someone who loves to craft, crafting kit is a must, and then you can buy these cookbooks to get a couple of different items as well. There are so many cookbooks. I may not buy them all physically on my game, but I will show you where all of them are as well. If I don't show you, I will tell you. That way you guys do know where everything is. But we're going to hit this Grace, and then we got to run and go get our horse. So before we fight that tree sentinel boss out there, which I am sure you might have fought on your first attempt, we are going to go get much stronger before we fight that guy. I am confident in my abilities, where I can absolutely demolish that thing first try. But you know, we're going to do some other stuff first. Alright, so if we head north, we will run across a few soldiers of Godric. Maybe one of them will drop me a pretty cool weapon. It's their straight sword. It's one of the better straight swords of the game. It's not the best, but if you're looking for raw damage and not really any passives like fire or magic damage, that is a good sword to use. Alright, so I want to kill these guys just to see if they do drop it. Sir, that was rude. I wasn't doing anything to you. I had zero intent to kill you. Definitely zero. Not 100% at all. I missed. I'm terrible at video games. Stop watching, everybody. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. But we are going to go in and hit this Grace. We're also going to grab that item I forgot to grab right at the start. All this does is let you summon in friends into your world. So, there you go. Let's rest real quick. Get our health back, and then we will come back to this cave once I have my horse and once I have the weapon that I want to use for Limgrave. Alright, so we've killed pretty much all of them. They did respawn since I did hit the Grace. Or I should say rest at the Grace. But we're going to come over here. We're going to go through this camp here in a little bit. But we're going to run over this way and grab this Grace as well. So how I'm going to try to conquer each video is try to show as much of Limgrave and as much of every area this game has in every video. There is going to be a general rhyme or reason or order to it, but it's not going to be done in a specific way unless it has to. For example, if a quest is going to be done in one specific area, good example would be one that I forget her name. She's the one who eventually drops our madness. Yep, I got a two-handed. She's the one who drops our, oh my god, I can't remember the name. What's it called? It's our madness, caster. Relic. Catalyst. Oh god, those aren't the right names. What the heck's it called? I'm blanking. I forget what it's called. But she is the one who eventually drops our madness spellcasty thingy. Oh my god, my brain is broken and I feel so dumb that I cannot remember what it's called.
They serve the two fingers.
But she drops it. I think her name is like Arena, something like that. We are going to end up talking to her and basically getting her quest almost completely done by the time we get through Leardia. So, there's a section where she kind of just spawns all over in that one little area. That's the main area we're going to go and run around to. So that way it is basically, everything that we will need and everything that we're going to be done with. Now, there is one thing I will mention, and I'll show you this right after I get done leveling up. So, we grabbed our first map piece down here in Gatefront Ruins, went back to the Grace to get our horse, but way over here, and it's even farther beyond in Caelid, there is a dragon that you can go kill with the Blaidd weapon. So if you chose the samurai, or if you chose like anything that like a skill build that can use the flail here that's with Blaidd, that stuff would be a great choice to go, and then you can head that direction all the way to Caelid. Once you get way out of Limgrave, you go up, follow that path, and just keep following it that way until you run into Caelid. You'll eventually run into a dragon that is laying down and immobile. If you use a Blaidd weapon, you'll be able to get around 75,000. I thought about doing that at the start of the video, but honestly, it takes like 20 minutes and I'd have to edit a lot of it out, and that's a lot of extra editing for me, and this is already going to be a 2.5 hour video. I decided not to. So, we're going to come into our first grave, or our first cave. You could have warped here, or you could jump down, or ride your big horse torrent. But we now are going to be here. We grabbed our cracked pot. We got a few puppies to kill. Remember, you're going to have to two-hand until you get your weapon up to 16. I believe I got mine to 16, right? Yep. So now I can use the shield if I want to. I don't plan on using my shield the entire time I play, but there will be some points where I will, as it is kind of a useful strategy to just use guard counters and be a big tanky boy, as it's a good way to do a lot of damage. Alright, now we got a fun fight ahead of us. This dude is one that we will find in Farum Azula. I love this great sword because it just staggers them right away and I don't even have it upgraded. Nice. Nice. Good little actual tutorial boss, you know? One that just kind of teaches you how to do basic damage and how to fight. It's fun. Good little fight. And we get our first talisman. Alright, so one thing I will mention, if you have looked through the trophies for this game, is that you need to find a boatload of different legendary armaments, which are your swords, your weapons. Then you have legendary spells and incantations. Then you have your legendary talismans. So these are essentially all things that you can eventually equip onto your character to just kind of give you a little bit more variety into what you do and be just incredibly overpowered. So we will eventually cover all of them. This playthrough is going to cover legitimately everything Elden Ring has to offer. I have said that a couple times already, but I just want to reiterate this. So if you are expecting to only see trophies like Bloodborne, that's not going to happen. We're doing everything because there's just so much here that one playthrough just grabbing the important stuff is not enough to really do it justice for the game. So we're going to come through this camp. We're going to grab our rune fragments. We're going to come over this way and mess with Shield Bro. Ouch. Good move, sir. What'd you give me? Ooh, a shield. A great shield. Nice. I could do a paladin build right away. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sweet. But I don't know if that's what I want to do. Ouch. Alright, so we kind of alerted some of them, not all of them. The big boy and Mr. Horns-a-Lot, I believe, is not aggroed. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I spoke too soon. Sir, that violence is not the answer. Oh, Angry McGee got here. Alright, there's that guy done. Oh my goodness, everybody's here. I should just run away and come back when they're de-aggroed, but that's no fun. Alright, I think that's what we're going to do. I don't want to die yet. We're just going to run over here and grab this Grace. Alright. Now I'll go fight you and die. Let's see, can I sneak up on him? I don't know why he was looking that way. What a fool. What a dang fool. Ooh. I haven't gotten this to drop in ages. That's awesome. Any other angry boys around here? Oh, there's one. Alright. Now, where is my drop down? Ooh, a wolf. That's why shields are helpful, everybody. I don't use them very often. I mainly use the buckler, and that's all I really use. But, you know, sometimes they're helpful. Sometimes they're helpful, especially when you're trying to be, you know, in a way where you're playing extra safe. You don't have any heals. Might as well, right? Might as well use a shield. Alright, we got a couple more things to grab over this way. See if those enemies are here. I believe they got alerted, so I don't know if they will be. Ooh, they are. Risky. What you got? Shield versus shield. I win. My shield's better. And then we can grab our flail. So this is a weapon that does have bleed. You can see how it has blood loss up to 50. That's one of the main weapons that you got to use to go fight that dragon and win. You don't actually, it's not an actual fight. You just kind of chop at its ankles while it lays there dying because it's so old. Can't stand up anymore. But you get like 75,000 runes, and it's a great way to set up your early game build. But since we're doing everything in Limgrave, I'm trying to make sure that everything's going to be as smoothly as possible, where you, the viewer who's following along with me, has an easy time going about your business. Oh, homeboy over here didn't get alerted either. What the heck? Nice. Hey, there's my heals back. So if you did not know, you kill specific or certain areas, enemies, all of them, I should say, all of the enemies in the area, you will eventually get heals back. Sometimes it is just only 2. Sometimes it will be all of them. It entirely depends on what happened in your area and how many of them you killed. So from here, we are going to go up north because we got a golden seed right up this way that we are going to go get to give us just another heal. Now, I'm not going to kill every enemy in the game because there are just some areas like this that just aren't really important. There's only one item and we already grabbed it. Otherwise, it's just enemies, and the trolls don't really drop anything crazy, so there's no point in fighting all of the trolls. So, there will be some areas that we will just kind of run through, because that's what's easier to do in the long run. But we got our first golden seed. We're also going to turn right to go grab some stones over here. And now we'll be able to level up our greatsword for a little bit. Now, for weapons, since we're talking about leveling up weapons, there are several very good weapons you can use in the early game to do massive damage, and that are just really easy to level up and use right away. For me, I am actually going to use a colossal sword that we are going to get relatively soon. I don't want to say it's going to be right now because I'd have to go into a different area to grab it, but we are eventually going to go down south to the Weeping Peninsula. This will probably be in the next episode or a couple after, depending on how many parts of the map we can get done in this time frame. But we are going to start with our northern section. We're going to go right over here first and go that way. We're going to run into an NPC. He's pretty helpful. He's pretty nice, pretty kind. Definitely not going to turn crazy at any point. And we also are going to fight a couple of Caden warriors, just because I do like these dudes. I like their armor a lot. I love their weapon. If I get that bad boy, you can bet your sweet bippy that's what I'm going to be using. God dang, dude. Calm down. So, their weapon, the Dismounter, is one of my favorite weapons in the game. I love the great curved sword movesets, and it's just really fun. It's just a really fun weapon to use. You can put any Ash of War you want on that bad boy, and it just makes it so much better to use. Like, it's just a fun weapon to use overall. So if you have never used it, I do recommend it. It's a very good weapon to start. They are just as strong as great swords, like the one I'm using. But I think they're a little bit more versatile, because when you have them two-handed, they will do more horizontal slashes instead of vertical slashes. So this dude, you say my faith hold firms, he will show you all of these different skills that you can buy for your weapon. One I do want to talk about is no skill. So no skill would be for like a left-handed armament, like a shield or a torch. If you put no skill on it, essentially that means your Ash of War that's on the weapon in your right hand, that is now the one that you will use if you hit left trigger. So pretty cool, pretty fun. it's pretty nice to use, pretty nice to have. I will also mention, and I'm not going to show you right now because I do want to keep this guy alive for later in the game, as he'll help you with the Godskin duo fight if you do want help. But you can kill this guy right now to get his armor set and to get the first legendary weapon of the game. It is a great hammer. It is one of the coolest weapons in the game in terms of sheer looks, but unfortunately, you gotta have pretty high levels in order to use it. Now, we are gonna go right over here for an invasion. This will give us another talisman that we will need. Lots of puppies. Lots of puppies over here. Alright, so when we get over here, eventually we will get knocked off the horse. And that is because Hammer Bro eventually spawns in. And now it's time to go to town. Oh, aggressive. Very aggressive. That is a fun Ash of War. What a legend. Dodge the Ash of War like a beast. Got him. Didn't dodge it that time. And there we go. We got the Hammer Talisman. And this effigy is for when you want to play PvP and you want to duel other players in the game as well. Now, since this is way after the update has been added, you can open the arena Colosseums. This is where each Colosseum will have its own version of PvP or PvE. I do not partake in these because I still think that combat, like online combat against people in the game, kind of sucks. It does. Kind of sucks. I'm not a fan of it at all. I really am not. I think it's just messy. I think it's just Ash of War spam more than already what's in the game with like with your Ash of War spam for boss fights, speedrunners, and other stuff like that. So to me, it's not really worth it. But we want to head this direction because we have a dude on a horse that's going to give us a prayer book when we kill him. And then, once we take him out, we will be able to go up top, as you might have already seen, of that little building over there. And we got another our first scarab, I should say, that we'll have to take out. And there we go. Smithing Stone 1. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, now we are going to head to our first catacomb, since we have that in our little area. Also, I should mention, Golden Vow is a very good Ash of War for buffing. I believe it boosts every single stat that you have in your character. Alright, so we're going to run through here. There's only really two things that we got to do. One is this item over here. And then one is this chest over here. We're going to grab our shield and move on northeast to where we can get our first catacombs. We're going to go up this little ledge here. And then we are going to turn into this spot right here. Now you might be thinking, like, was this the same hill that I was already on? No, no it is not. I was up here. We are now down here. Alright, let's do stamina up to 15. Also, I should mention right now, all as well, if you guys want each section time-stamped in the description, so that way you can find whatever section you're looking for, let me know. I would love to know if that's what you guys want, because I can definitely start doing that. I haven't in my Bloodborne videos, because they were only a half hour, not that big of a deal. But in this, since the hours are going to be very long, or the episodes are going to be very long, I should say, please let me know. Make sure you tell me if that's what you would like. It'll only help you guys. Where did you come from, sir? There we go. Alright, so we got all these skelly men taken care of. Are you coming up? There we go. You were the one I was originally trying to get up. Where'd you come from? Aggressive. So, be careful when you are fighting these dudes with the little shield, the little buckler shield, because the buckler shields that they use, they can parry with. So, it can be very dangerous to try to fight them. Alright, got him. Now we can come down this way to grab another Blaidd weapon. It's a pretty fun weapon to use, the Uchi-Katana. This is what the starting weapon is of the Samurai class. Oh, I missed my 2 archers. That was aggressive. What? Another archer? Alright, so in this room, there's like 7 or 8 more skeletons. We're just gonna run and grab this lever. And then we're gonna run back out. When you see this little sign up on the bottom of your screen saying somewhere a door is opened, just hit triangle again. That way you can grab other items and start attacking and things like that. Because for some reason, and I don't know why From Software didn't patch this out, but for some reason you cannot attack. You can't do anything other than run, really, if you don't have, or if you have that menu on your screen. All right, so I'm gonna go back and rest, and then we will go fight our boss. And this boss gives us a pretty important talisman, especially for early game, as it gives you the ability to restore your health. So if you're like me who love Bloodborne, this will help you play a little bit more like Bloodborne. It's not going to be when you take damage you'll get health back. It is only when you do visceral damage, so visceral attacks. So this dude's pretty cool. He's got a lot of quick swipes. The main one to watch out for is the one you've already seen, where he jumps back and does a big thrust, or if you are right next to him and he starts swiping his dagger across the ground. Those are the big ones. Also, if you see him try to jump back, kind of like he did in one of the earlier attacks, and reaches out with his bare hand instead of the knife, that is a grab. So you do gotta watch out for that. But overall, it's a pretty simple and easy fight. If you do get grabbed, that is when you will see massive damage. Otherwise, he's really easy. You're not going to notice really any challenge or any issue with him, especially if you're somebody who's played the other Souls games. But we are going to grab our death root from the chest, and then we are going to get out of there. All right, let's go level up. I should have enough for a level. When it comes to leveling, if you know exactly what item or weapon you are going to use at the start, I recommend putting more levels into that at the beginning. If you do not know what weapon you're going to do, because this is only like your second playthrough, let's say, and your first playthrough, you didn't do a ton, you didn't do an incredible amount of exploring like I'm sure many people did, then you want to look at your health, your endurance first, and then mind if you are somebody who plans on using magic. That way you have enough FP to do anything, really. That's some kind of the main thing, or the main point that I wanted to talk to you about with that. Now, let's see. There's something else I was going to show you guys over here that I needed to do. Let's see. Do I have it in my notes? This game is so massive, I did have to make notes. It's not like Bloodborne where I could just do what I want. Yep, we are past that. Let's see. Stormfoot Catacombs. Is that what that one was? Nope, that's Deathtouched Catacombs. Oh, I went out of order. What the heck? Huh. Alright, well, no big deal. Let's go back to here, and then we're going to run back up, because I believe on the platform above, that little rectangular cutout, that is where we're going to go, because I believe there's another cave up there, but I could be wrong. If I am wrong, I'll just cut it out, and I'll tell you that there's nothing there. Alright, well, unfortunately, that was a bummer. There was nothing there. So, we are going to continue on this direction. Come on, be nice, trees. We're going to go back down the way we went, and we're going to take a hard left. You'll hear Alexander, Iron Fist Alexander, start talking. We are not going to go mess with him yet. We are actually going to come over here and get a grace. And then, we are going to warp over to... where to go? The Church of Elleh, and we are going to head out and do the left side or the western side of Limgrave.
This way.
Ah, yes, Ronnie.
I have a word.
Or is it Renna? I can't remember.
Pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna.
Renna, that's who it
I'd
was.
heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Indubitably. That is me. I am him.
Trusted this by Torrent's former master.
You know Melina?
'Tis a bell
The maiden within me?
spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to thee, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly. As they recall battles past, now it is thine. To do with as thou wishest.
Interesting.
Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
That is a good question. Basically, she asked me what ending am I going to go for in the game. And the answer is I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have my kind of ending, which I'm sure some people don't like.
Wait, well, you're back.
Let's see, is there anything else that I want to buy? Again, if you haven't bought these, you can come back and buy these at any time. Cracked pots are pretty useful throwables. This is where you can build like fire bombs, frost pots or frost bombs, sleep bombs, etc. So if you want to buy them, you definitely can. I mainly wanted to come back for the torch. Since I do have this on 4K, man, does the darkness really show. Like, I got a 4K monitor, very, very, very clear. It's an OLED monitor as well, so like the colors are just super bright or super dark. It's wild. But we are going to head southwest. And we are going to head down to the sandbar that is down this direction. We are not going to fight the troll. We are simply going to keep going down until we get a chance to drop all the way down. And remember, this is not Elden Ring Night Rain. There is fall damage, so you can't just leap off the edge. I made that mistake my first time playing this to try to get the walkthrough prep done. So I had an idea of where I wanted to go, what direction I wanted to do, and so forth. And man, oh man, I felt like an absolute fool. Because I just went right off the edge on Torrent and was like, oh, well, this is death. Alright, so we're going to go here. We're going to hit our Grace. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. We got to go back and do this real quick like. So, we got to leave real quickly because we got to talk to an NPC. It's arguably one of the more annoying NPCs. I will say that. It is one of the more annoying ones. But we need to go to Aegil Lake North. And then we are going to go talk to our first NPC. Or not really our first, but one of our first. Okay. We are going to head south. And eventually we will hear somebody talk.
Oi. You there.
Once you grab this little item, you walk over here and look at the only thing that does not look like a normal tree over here. Roll through.
What'd you go and do that for?
And now we got our friend.
Some clock. You were just thank you. I was pushing. I ended up.
All right, Bach.
Oh, when they and so this is I.
Thanks for the mushroom.
Then. Rhyme.
Alright, so now he's going to the cave on the shore. So we are going there as well. And he will be there all beaten up and bloodied. Alright, so don't rush in or you'll end up like me. They don't know I'm going to be the Elden Lord. So they don't know what's coming for them. Rune fragment. Cool. Alright, let's go through here. We got 2 boys to wipe out. And then we got a couple more down here. They also have one big boy in the corner. Yep. Who we want to kill right away. Alright, now we want to put out our torch to make sure that they don't see us when we come in. There is an NPC that you can summon. I don't really think you need him. If you're somebody who's a Blaidd build, like a samurai already, or if you got a katana earlier in the game and you want to use it now, I cannot because my dex is not high enough. This is a very good spot for Blaidd. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit left stick and we're going to walk in here nice and quiet like. Because right over here is the boss. And you can see way over there, there is another one. When we start fighting this one, eventually that one will see us. So we actually want to start trying to go from over that way. So how this is going to work is kind of going to be like a DPS check here. So if you don't want to do this now, you can go back and level up. Because we do have 4 smithing stones. We can level up our weapon once. I'm not going to really do that because I'm no coward. But we are just going to absolutely beat this dude up. Oh, what a legend he dodged. But we got that. We're going to heal. And we're going to kill this dude lickety-split just as soon as we get to a spot where we can heal. Oh, didn't get my roll. Alright, there's one of them down. Now we had to kill a couple more of those little dudes. Now we're going to heal up. And then we're going to run over here. Kill this bad boy. And now we got to do the same thing again. Once you kill these big boys, the other enemies will stop fighting, just so you are aware. So you don't feel like you have to kill all of the little guys, because again, once they are dead, they should stop fighting. See? Cowards in fear. All of them. Now, because we're sadistic and evil, we're going to kill them all. Might as well, right? Ah, victory. Tastes so nice. Now, we're going to run this direction, but we are not, I repeat again, we are not going to go through this right here where we're going to return to the entrance. We are going to go all the way across. And I believe there's going to be 2 more little enemies up here. And the reason we're going to do this is because it will take us to a spot where when we kill dragons, we can then use the altar that is here to get a couple of dragon spells or dragon incantations, which is pretty cool. Alright, and here we are. We are now on the little island that was just off the shore of Limgrave. Pretty cool. Pretty sweet. Let's get on Torrent, and away we go. Alright. Let's run in here. So at night is the only time you can access this. During the day, this flaming torch or flaming pillar will not be on fire, so you won't be able to access it. But once you get a dragon heart, you can get these 3 spells. The dragon claw is probably my favorite out of all of these 3, and even all of the dragon incantations in general. I think it's so cool that they let us slam and claw our way to victory with our dragon attacks. But now we're going to warp back. We got to talk to Bach. He'll give us something cool. If memory serves me.
Wait. Is that why you got it back?
He looks so shocked. I gave it already. There you go. Good job.
What made you go and do a thing like that? My mum was a seamstress, and that sewing kit was... I always wanted to be just like sweet old mum. Then I suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I? Thank you. You're very... I always wanted...
Alright, so there is that. We will meet Bach again later in life, but since we have done that now, we can warp somewhere else. We are going to go back to the Church of Elleh, and then we're going to go to another catacombs. I should also mention, over here on the shoreline, there is a beetle. You are welcome to go fight the beetle, but right now we don't have anything to really kill the beetle, because the beetle's hitbox is incredibly quick. So if you are not fast enough to kill it, which I do not have a fast enough weapon to kill it, essentially, you're just going to be trying to struggle bussing until you win. But you can see its footsteps right over there. That is where the beetle is, right around those 3 pillars down there. So if you want to spend 10 minutes trying to kill it, by all means, you can do that. I will not be doing it this episode. I will probably come back to it once I have something that will do a better job of swiping at that area than what I have now. Alright, so here is our next catacombs, the Stormfoot Catacombs. Let's see, I do have notes on this one because I don't remember this one that well off the top of my head. Alright, let's get more health. Ooh, I should swap my Ash of War that I got for this. So instead of that, we will go Golden Vow. And we will do Sacred. So, the reason I chose Sacred is because if there are skeletons in here, which I don't think there is, I think this one's all imps, yeah, it'll help kill them so you won't have to hit them again when they're dead. Alright, let's see. 2 enemies in the room ahead. There's one, and the other one was in plain sight. Beauty. These guys are also weak to bleed, so feel free to do that as well, or use that as well. And then in this room we have our door. We can grab our Grave Glowwort. You can see an enemy right over there, so if you have a bow or something, you can take that guy out. But there will be a few others that'll be in this room that you can already hear kind of chasing you. But we're going to grab the Glowwort. We're going to go through this little hallway. And then we have an enemy up above who will fall down once we reach a certain point of the room. Or we can just knock him down ourselves. Nice. And we got a boy right down here. Looks like somebody fell off their little ledge. That's good for us. Alright, so word of advice. Don't fight them in this little doorway. Try to lure them out one way or the other. I was trying to get over them, but it didn't really work that well. So we are going to run in this direction. Over that way, you have a couple of crafting items, I believe, and an ambush. So let me see, just to make sure I read my notes right. Yep, the item is smoldering butterflies, and I have next to it, don't get it or you will die. There are a ton of enemies. So we are going to go down this direction. Or actually, wait, hang on. I read that wrong. This side is fine. You're just going to hit that to drop it. This one is fine. The next one is not fine. That is the one you don't want to go do. So we're going to run through here. If you want to shut off the fire, you can. I am going to. You know, if I can hit it. But you can see there's two there. Let's see. I'll see if I can show you all of them. We got one right there in that corner. We got two on the wall that you can see. And we have another one right there. There are 5 enemies. Not worth it. Not worth it for just some smoldering butterflies. You can grab it and run to the ladder if you would like. I think there's a billion smoldering butterflies all over the maps. You don't need it at all. When you get to the top, though, we do have an enemy or two to kill. And then, I believe in here we have another trap. So we're going to aggro a couple of them. There he is. Now we can go fight this dude. You know, if we actually hit him that last time. So we got Wandering Noble Ashes and more Glowwort. So now we're going to run over here. We can grab another Glowwort if you want it. And then we're going to go this way and fall down on this side. Then we can grab our lever and run to our boss fight. Oh, calm down, Imp. You're fine. Alright, so now we got that done. We're going to go back and rest at the Grace before we go into the boss fight. And then we're going to go fight our good old-fashioned Watchdog. I believe that's the boss, right? Is that I write it down? Yep, it is a Watchdog. So with this fight, main moves to look out for are its big jump attacks. It'll float in the air and then suddenly drop down. Not really super hard to dodge, but you just got to know that if you dodge too early, like when it's still ascending, you're going to get absolutely stomped. So make sure you do try to stay patient in that situation. Also, he will do a couple of different swipes. He has a fire stream attack that follows you, and when he stands straight up, he will walk around the room and chase you. When he raises his weapon up, that is when you dodge. Do not do it when it comes down, because it is basically like one frame, and the blade goes from the top to the ground, and you're going to get hit. Alright, let's get this started. Got my sip of water. Gonna use Golden Vow right away when we walk in to give ourselves extra damage. And away we go. So once he blazes his blade up, we dodge. And now we can start messing it up. There's the jump. We dodge when it starts coming down. There's a couple of swipes. Beauty. Absolute beauty. Oh, I forgot the thrust. Dang it, almost no hit. And we got our Noble Ash. Noble Sorcerer Ash. Now we can return to the entrance, and we can move on to the next section. Alright, so now that we are out of... What's it called? Does it say the name? Now that we are out of the Stormfoot Catacombs, we are going to warp back to... Where is it? Where's the one I'm looking for? We are going to warp back to Lake Aegeal North. And now, we are going to go into a cave. This is where we're going to grab a lot of stones to use to upgrade our weapon. Again, if you're using the greatsword, or you got the dismounter like I mentioned earlier, or you found another weapon so far, or you liked your starting armament weapon and you want to upgrade it, by all means you can do that as well. It is a pretty simple, straightforward thing. You can go to the Church of Elleh, where Elleh is located, and he has a smithing stone table that is there for you to use. But we're going to fall off the left in the tunnels. Whenever you see this, it is always best to just fall off on the edge. That way you can get the goodies that are located on the cliffside of the steps, or of the elevator cave. But we're going to fall off the edges, and then we can get our grace at the very bottom. So I should mention, if you are going to use a helper, you do need to activate the summoning pool. That way it'll be faster for your friends that you're playing with to load into your world. Now we're going to kill all these dudes, so as they eventually drop smithing stones like you already saw. I kind of hope they drop their pickaxe. It's a very rare drop rate. Like, I think it's only like less than 10%. It's really weird how the pickaxe drops. But the pickaxe was kind of the weapon I was hoping to use for this run, because I've just never used it before. I've never used a hammer before, or a great hammer. And it's a very early great hammer that has a pretty fun moveset, because I believe it has the axe moveset. So it's a little different than the other great hammers. But we got those stone dudes, stone diggers, come through. Now we got rats to kill. How are you alive? Grab the golden rune from the rat, and then we can come in here to grab another smithing stone. Then we're going to come this way, going through the tunnel, and we're going to roll through the next section of the stairs. I believe there's nothing on these stairs, but again, if you're someone like me who is very serious about getting everything the game has to offer, it's better to be safe than sorry, making sure you're grabbing that stuff on your way down. Now, heal before you come into the next room, because there are some dogs that you got to deal with. And I don't know about you, but dogs are like the most irritating enemies to fight, especially when there are multiple around. So we got the dogs done. Now it's time for these stone diggers. One of you should drop a pickaxe, because it's pretty cool. I got one to drop on my walkthrough, or my walkthrough prep character that I've made. And on that character, I've got like all of Limgrave done, I've got the Weeping Peninsula done, and I've got most of Liurnia done. Actually, I think I'm on to Caelid now. If I think about it, I think I'm on Caelid. So I'm like, I don't know how much, like a third of the way through in terms of getting everything in the game. And I think I'm already up to like level 70 or something crazy. It's wild. It's wild how many levels you can get in this game. And that's without farming too, I should say. That's just literally doing everything. But on the elevator, we are going to roll off the backside. And we're going to go into the next section. So we want to kill this dude with the lamp, because he will spray fire. We got to grab the glintstone scrap. We're gonna come around the corner here to this dude. We're gonna kill him as well. He dropped another stone for us. Lovely. We're gonna grab this dude first, because he's gonna be spraying fire at us again, which is kind of annoying. We got that bad boy. And we got our last stone digger over here. Alright. I think I grabbed everything over here, right? Yes, I did. So from here, same thing. We're going to fall off the left, because we have a couple of items to grab. First one is some runes. Second one is another somber smithing stone. So the somber weapons are closer to your more powerful, higher damage, crazy AoE, or Ash of W. Oh boy, words are hard. Ash of War weapons that you're going to use to do massive damage. So typically, those ones will upgrade with somber stones, so it's good to have plenty of those lying around. So we are going to come here, buff ourselves. We're going to do a big charged R2. Oh, I missed. Charged R2 into another charged R2 if I could hit him. I walked right under that attack. That's hilarious. I should just die, honestly, and start over, because you can do this no hit. Yeah, that's a good thing that I died. I should have used Golden Vow before walking in to kill him. Alright, well, that was embarrassing. Don't do that, kids. Here's what we're going to do. Buff ourselves outside of the room. We're going to walk in, lock onto one leg while he is roaring. Charged R2. How do I miss? Charged R2. Charged R2. Now we can kill him without getting hit. Visceral attack. You're going to jump attacks because he's going to do a stomp. Into another R2, and he dead. He dead. And we got a roar medallion, so now our roar attacks are buffed. It's pretty cool. Now when we get to the entrance, since the Grace is below, we are going to just simply warp to Lake Geel North. Alright, what do we got for levels? Oh god, I'm dying. We got 2 levels. Alright. So, from here, the next thing we want to do is trying to decide. I got to look on my walkthrough. Ooh, really? I took that way, huh? Yeah, let's do that. We are going to warp back up to Saintsbridge. Again, if you have a weapon that you want to upgrade, you are welcome to. I am not going to upgrade my weapon because I'm saving it for the weapon I actually want to use, unless I get a really cool weapon to drop. We are not going to mess with Mr. Pumpkinhead because he's just all by his lonesome, and he doesn't drop anything but ruin fragments or warming stones, something like that. I can't remember. But we have another merchant over here. This dude's got some more stones for us to buy. He's got a cookbook with some pickled turtleneck and other items. He's got flame chariots notes, which if you did not know, you can kill them incredibly fast. So, it's up to you if you want to buy his stuff, but it is not really needed, as most of the stuff, if not all of the stuff, I will show you. So we got an NPC over here. We're just going to go through his dialogue real fast, it's just because there is going to be 1 or 2 that will just come to attack. I want to kill this one because there is a decent chance that it could drop a scythe, and it didn't. Dang it. That's alright. We're going to go this way. And we're going to grab this Grace down here. And then we're going to get our next death route by fighting that boss. Alright, scaly men aren't coming. So we can go this way and mess this dude up. Whew! Got him. Alright, let's buff ourselves. Back on the horse. And now I believe he popped up this way. Yep, there he is, summoning his backup. So how you typically want to fight this dude is pretty straightforward. You just want to avoid the skeletons. You don't need to fight them at all. You can just wail on him and you'll be good to go. Especially if you got Sacred Vow on your weapon, you will be just fine. Ooh, he killed something. I thought he killed me. I was like, what? There's no way he should be hitting me that hard. Typically around half health, he will warp somewhere else. But overall, not too difficult to deal with. There we go. Now his red-eyed skelly men will die as well. So we're going to grab this smithing stone 1 that is over here. You can grab these lilies as well. They help you craft items for sleep. Then we can go through here. There will be some skeletons that are still around or will appear. But I'm just trying to show you where all of the important items are, or just items in general. And if you noticed, he glanced across my screen very briefly, but Hunter D is still up here as well. Ooh, that guy could drop that scythe. That scythe's pretty cool. But we'll go fight him later. We got a couple of things to check out. Where is it? Ah, right here. So this is another talisman that we can use if you have a stone sword key, which we do. We can use this in this little section. We're just going to run down here, open the door, and we are going to grab our talisman that's going to give us boosted stamina recovery. So you can throw that puppy on if you want. I am not, as I like having the health regen more. But once we get through our main castle, or Stormvale Castle, we'll have access to another talisman slot, and we can slide it on then. But I want to try to fight that one scythe dude, wherever he is. Not you. You're not who I want to fight. Ah, there you are. Give me your scythe. Dang it, he didn't drop it. That's a bummer. Really? Oh, there we go. That's what I gotta do. Alright, so there's that. Where's D? D should be right over here by one of the big death root things.
Another fool who won't listen to it with a prowess.
Alright, so basically he's like, you've got death root, I have a friend for you to visit. And then he'll mark my map telling me where I can go to go visit the beast clergyman. You also can just visit that point if you know it without talking to D or doing any of this stuff. Well, we got like 1 or 2 items left in this area, and then we'll move on to the next spot. I believe we have an item up here. Can't remember where it is, and my notes aren't very good. I think it's in here. Yep. Golden Rune 4. That's what it was. Alright. Now, we're going to go east. And we got a jump pad over here that we're going to take. Now, if you were going to go to the dragon, like I mentioned before, you just keep heading up that trail. But if you see the trail as it veers right or left towards that church, you do not want to go that way. You want to stay on that side of the tree and hug that edge of the cliffs, and you avoid an invasion of a pretty strong NPC for how leveled we are right now. Like, we would get probably one shot by that NPC every single time we fought him. Not something you want to do right now. So, try to hug that right wall, and then you can run to that Grace, and you can just keep heading east, and you'll eventually run into the Dragon Burrow, where that dragon is. And now, we're going to kill that bug for a Sacred Blaidd Ash of War. And the spot on our map that sends us to Caelid, where the Beast Clergyman is right over in that little corner there. So, you do not need to do it now. We want to go into the church. And we want to grab our Sacred Tear, which gives us more health per heal. And we want our Wondrous Physic. So now that we're here, we can heal, level up if needed, and we can fix our flask. Alright, so from here, we are going to head west. Because there's an NPC we need to have a conversation with. Now, remember when I said that we were going to do everything? Well, I did my research, and by did my research, I mean I've done this before, because I wanted to do the quest line. I don't think the quest line's that rewarding, in my opinion. So we're not going to do it for this playthrough, but I will talk to you about how to do this. So, this dude, Kenneth Haight, is a really annoying individual. But what this person wants us to do is ride all the way down here in the southern part of Limgrave, kill all of the enemies that are there, and take back his fort, Fort Haight. If we do that, he'll reward us, and then eventually when we kill the demigod in Stormvale Castle, I'm blanking on his name. What the heck's his name? Oh, God. Godfrey. No, not Godfrey. Godric. Godric the Grafted. If we kill him, eventually Kenneth Haight will be like, we need a new lord, a new ruler. And there's another NPC that we got to find, track down, give a couple items to, and eventually they rule over Limgrave. To me, it's not really worth it in my mind, because I honestly would just rather get the item that we can get from him right now if we kill him. So, we're going to beat him. We're going to beat him real good. And you might be like, oh, who kills NPCs? Me, I kill NPCs. Pretty easy. And we get a golden seed so we can have one more heal. That's why we do it. Because I would rather have one more heal early on in the game compared to doing all of that extra quest work for really nothing, in my opinion. Like, you just get one final ancient stone to level up one of the weapons, and there's like 12 or there's like 20 in the base game and the DLC that you can get for your ancient dragon stones. So it's like, why would I want to do that just for that? That's not really what we would need, because we're all going to get those stones around the same time. It's not like I can have my weapon fully upgraded by the time I'm done with Liurnia or Caelid. So what's the point of doing that? You know what I mean? That's why I bring that up. It's not super important. But now we're going to mark that pillar and we're going to go this way. Now, we do not want to fight those big bears, because those big bears mean a lot of aggression and a lot of death in our future. So we're going to run this way. We're going to grab our map piece. And then we're going to keep running this direction. These scarabs are only for heals. They are not for Ash of War or anything else. But our main thing we want was those two chunks, or those two tiers for our Wondrous Physic, so we can start doing some redonkulous damage when we fight with our big heavy weapons. So we are going to talk to this dude so I can show you what he's got. He's got a couple more cookbooks. Exalted Flesh and Beast Lure Pot. Pretty cool stuff. Not really needed or necessary for what we need right now. I'm going to buy these smithing stones because I want to make sure I have enough for when I eventually get the weapon I want to use. But for now, we're going to keep heading south, and this is Fort Haight, the fort that guy wanted to do. Again, I didn't want to do it because it's not really needed for us, for our build, or for our character. Like, yeah, we get an upgrade stone at the end, but we're also past that point later in the game where we're going to have like 3 or 4 of them for any weapon we find. So it's not really needed. Let's see, what do I want to do? Since I don't have my weapon yet, and I don't remember what the stats are for that weapon, I'm just going to start leveling up endurance and get that to 20 as well. Alright, so up here, what am I doing? I should have used my golden seed. Oh well, that's fine. So up here, we have the demi-humans trying to fight through Fort Haight. We are going to run up here and just get our golden seed. And then, we got some enemies to fight. Great Sword Boy is definitely the first one you want to kill. And then we're going to fight any enemy we can from there. If possible, we want to fight Pumpkinhead alone. If not possible, well, sorry, but you're going to have to figure it out. While he is distracted, we are just going to go right into the fort. Excellent, that worked out perfectly. If you do need to fight Pumpkinhead because he got alerted to you, try to get behind him and smack his booty. That's going to be one of the best ways to do it. While you're in here, there are some rats. There's also some bins that you're going to want to roll through to not get blown up on. Because, as you can see, there are dudes up above who are chucking fire pots. Oh my rats. So many. There we go. Ooh, a Ruin Arc. Beautiful. I could use that, puppy. Then we got a cookbook in this room, which is why we were fighting so hard to get there. And then we're going to run this way. Again, try to avoid those big barrels, as these 2 dudes up here are going to be chucking more pots at you. Glass shard. Interesting. Craftable. A crafting item. And here is our friend that the Haight dude was trying to get us to fight. He's going to be just like your other knights, except he's going to have a bloody slash ash of war, which we will get for killing him. He dead? Yes, he is. Excellent. Alright, so come over here and grab a blood rose. Now we're going to go over this way, and we will get a first half, or our first half, of the Dectus Medallion. Which is essentially what we will use, or what we could use. We're not going to use it for this run, because there's no real benefit of doing it. But we are going to eventually go up to Altus Plateau, but we're going to take the way that's much better, because we get a lot more items. We get to fight a boss to give us more levels. We get a cool weapon from him as well. So it's just a lot more beneficial to go that way than to do what we did here. Now, there's only enemies left in this little area are these ballista dudes. It is up to you if you want to kill them. It's not the end of the world. But unfortunately, we don't get to shoot the ballistas. So from here, that's every enemy in the castle that we can fight as of right now. Now, we are just simply going to warp back. I'm going to mark my next spot that we're going to go. And I'm going to warp back to that spot. Alright, so from here, we're going to head to the marker. And the reason we're heading to the marker is because we want to grab a very strong talisman that will help us give a very, very, very strong early game build. And the reason I say it's very strong is because you will be staggering everything left and right. And I mean everything is going to get staggered with everything we've got on our character and our build right now. So try not to touch the Ruin Bear. He is sleeping. He will not wake up if you just run right by him. But we wanted to get this. And we wanted to grab our Axe Talisman. So what the Axe Talisman does is it enhances charge attacks. If you put that on, and you combine it with these two here, you're going to do a boatload of damage. This gives you more stamina, and this gives you more charge attacks, which charge attacks take a good chunk of your stamina gauge. So if you are someone who's like, man, I want to do a lot of damage, that's what you want to use. Now, we're going to go back to Kale, and we got to talk to him about Blaidd.
Well, you're back. The howl of a wolf in the Mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next
I would love to. Blaidd is my favorite NPC in this game. Hands down.
Don't fret.
He's my favorite visually. He's my favorite in terms of story. Oh, love him. Love him to death. Favorite character. Alright, is there anything I wanted to buy from you? Or did I buy all I wanted? I bought everything I wanted already. Okay. Now, we can warp back to Fort Haight. And now, we can go run to the same spot that we were. Oh wait, hang on. I think we got to do it at night. I think that's what he said, but I could be wrong. So, pastime tonight, and then we're going to go say hi to Blaidd. So, just head past these enemies. Again, there's nothing really special in this spot. They just have crafting items in that little area, so it's not really worth it, in my opinion, to go kill them, unless you're somebody who's a huge crafter and you just love crafting everything. Like, if you're a Minecrafter trying to play Elden Ring, then I get it. It makes sense. Go for it. I won't stop you. I won't tell you no. But over here, we are just going to run right by this tall tower. And then we're going to use a gesture. Where is Snap Fingers? Finger Snap. And here he comes. Hello!
Kale sent you, did he? Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blaidd. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby. Or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do.
I know where he is.
Ample reward.
I know where he is, friend.
Darrowell, and in need of...
Alright, I know where he is. We can go do that right now if you like. Blaidd, buddy, pal, friend. Alright, so we are going to go over there eventually. But we got a boss fight to fight first. So the east side of Limgrave really doesn't have much. Like in this whole forested area. We've kind of gone by everything that's important. Because we grabbed our stuff from the church. We come from this direction. And there is this thing right here. That is just a way to get down into the lower level, which we're going to do in a later video. We're basically making one big circle where we're going to come up here, and then we're going to do everything else in the center. Then we're going to do everything else up top, and then we're going to go into Stormvale Castle, probably as its own video. And then that will be Limgrave. We'll have done everything in Limgrave. So, from here, what we're going to do is fight a boss. So we're gonna go this way and head south, and we're gonna fight our first Knight's Cavalry. Again, if you have not leveled up your weapon, by all means level it up. We still have a few things to do before I find my weapon that I want to use, and that's perfectly fine. Kill those guys. Now, this Ash of War is also pretty strong. If you are somebody who loves doing max damage, that is a very good Ash of War to use in the early game, as it doubles the amount of damage on a single attack. So, we're going to use Golden Vow. We're going to keep trying to damage the horse. Essentially, this dude just loves to run around. Honestly, just dodge his attack and hit him once. That's basically it, because with how janky he moves all the time, it's really annoying to fight. So, honestly, just hit and run tactics is your way to go to beat him. I disagree. Oh, I disagree. I rolled. The game just said no. Oh, man. Whew. He hits hard. How did I miss? Oh. Ow. I just walked right into that one. And that one. Aw, man, he ran away. There we go. Boom, shakalaka. Love it. Now we just start beating him up. Ooh, good move. Got him. There we be. Easy peasy. And we get a decent Ash of War as well. Alright, so now we're actually going to warp back to the Grace. And then we're going to kind of run the same direction pretty much. But I want to level up first. Let's get endurance to 20 before I start doing other stuff. God, this game looks so beautiful in 4K. Like, I know I haven't shown much of this scenery, but like, my goodness, is this game beautiful in 4K. I hope this is coming through in 4K for you guys, and I hope it's not really laggy or gross. But we'll see. We will see. So we're on the same bridge where we fought the Knight's Cavalry. We're just grabbing the smithing stone, and we're running across into this section as well. So from here with the trolls, you can either hit them with a sleep pot if you've got the material to do that, or you can just take out one of the trolls, which is what I'm going to do. Once you get one of them dead, then they will stop moving. As you can see, that one's already on the ground. And that is how you can use, or I should say, get into the chest that is behind. Awesome. And he's dead. Beauty. So, don't worry about fighting all of the enemies here. We're just here for this axe that's in this chest. And we got the Great Axe. Pretty fun weapon to use. It gives you a different move set when you use your R2 or your heavy attack. So, ooh, let's see if I can get my weapon that I'd really like. He dropped something. Oh, man. Clothes. Kill you so you don't alert everybody. Hey, another Caden warrior. Nice. No, one of them saw me. Alright, we're running. No point, since I didn't get my weapon I wanted. We will just keep moving, and we will circle back up this cliffside to the left. Alright, so here is your cemetery. We want to visit cemeteries because they all have a boatload of runes. Calm down, bats. Calm down. Beauty. I hear a beetle. Oh, it's a Healy beetle. I don't need that. And now we got a room where we will eventually find our Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead will be your boss. Now, these items, honestly, are not important at all. You do not need to get them. I just wanted to show you what they were. But here is where our boss fight will be for the Pumpkinheads. And this one has a flail. It'll be pretty much the same fight as you fought at Castle Haight, or Fort Haight. So just be aware of that. Again, you want to try to get behind them, otherwise your slashes might hit the head, like mine's doing, where you're not going to do a ton of damage. Oh, give me that visceral. Yeah, beauty. Yeah. Get wrecked. Alright. Got that. And then, where is my door? Right there. Now we meet our sorcerer NPC. So I just say I want to learn sorcery. She basically calls us an idiot. And we go from there. And here's your sorceries. Kind of cool. This one's pretty solid. Glintstone Arc. It cuts through pretty much everything. Sorry, choked on something. Cuts through pretty much everything. Multiple enemies. It doesn't disappear when it hits one. It's pretty cool. And then you have this one as well, which is a Glintstone Stars. It's a pretty cool pretty cool spell as well. Just so you know, you can buy those if you are somebody who's looking to do some magic. You can also start her quest line, and then we can go from there. Man, I've already been playing for an hour and a half. We've got that much done of Limgrave. That's wild. That's wild. Alright, but now we are going to actually head over this way, and we're going to go meet Darrowil. If I can find the exit. So dark, it's hard to see sometimes. Oh, come on, get him on my horse. There we go. So in here, there's nothing really of value. It's just some crafting items. Not really anything necessary. But we're coming out this way. Now we're going to go towards our next objective, which is right up here in this fort. We are not going to go this way, because everybody will see us coming. We are actually going to go this way, and there will be a jump pad for us to jump up, and it'll put us behind the camp. We also want to hit this Grace as well. So when we are done with the camp, we can just warp right back here and heal. So we're going to run south and keep heading this way. And we are going to jump on this jump pad. Ooh, that was close. And now we got just these dudes that we can kill if I can get off my horse. Can I get off my horse? There we go. Hey, be nice. Hey, be nice. And we're going to run up here. We got this dude who loves to spam magic. We're going to grab our scroll. And now we want to go that way to kill that other dude who loves to spam magic as well. How did you not see me? I rode right in front of you and you didn't see me. What a doofus. Just forget the knights for now. We want to knock out this spammer up here, because he's a doofus and a jerk. Beauty. Now we can start killing knights. That dude with the flag down there, he loves to alert enemies, so kill him next. And now you basically have your freedom to go around killing who you want, when you want, where you want, how you want. Alright, now we got a couple of Caden warriors down here guarding a chest. Angry and aggressive. Oh, here comes another one. Missed me. Missed me. Oh, you got me that time. Horse, how could you? Wow, that's impressive. He just fell off his horse and stood standing up there. That's pretty cool. Alright, now we can open the chest and we can grab our pokey weapon right here. So if you're a dex build, this is a pretty useful weapon. It's a good little heavy thrusting sword, if I remember correctly. Yep, a heavy thrusting sword. They're pretty good at getting buffs off or debuffs off, like bleed or frost. So it is something that you could use if you really wanted to. There are other ones that are much better though, like the Bloody Hellas. Probably one of the best weapons in the game. I haven't used it personally, because I'm not a huge fan of pokey weapons. Their moveset just gets old very fast, so we're not doing that today. Now, we are going to level up again. And we're going to go right over here. We got an item to grab and another NPC to talk to before we go to Darrowil. And then we will have pretty much all of Limgrave done, with the exception of like one cave and a couple of jails to visit. So this dude's pretty cool. If you want his katana, which is the Nagakiba, it is a very great big, excuse me for swearing, I apologize. But if you want his katana, essentially all you got to do is kill him. I'm not going to kill him because I want his items I want to show you his quest line. His quest line's pretty fun. So I will not kill him, but you definitely can for that weapon to get grabbed early on. Now we're going to be here, and I believe... Where's my jump pad? There's my jump pad. This is another spot that I wanted to show you really quick. So over here... Where's my jump pad? Right over here. We are falling down into my jump pad. We got an Onyx Lord over here, who I believe will give us a magic incantation, or a magic Ash of War. And then it's going to lead us to a spot we've already seen. Excellent. And we got Gravitas. Pretty cool Ash of War. Doesn't have a ton of uses, but it is very useful early on. Late game, it's kind of okay. But we want to come into this cave because it's going to put us in a spot that you've already seen. And you may not have known how to get here to get this item early in the game. But does this look familiar? We are at the start of the game, where we fell and awoken from losing to the Grafted Scion. Pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. So now if you wanted to go down and visit that cave underneath, or that stone sword area underneath, you are welcome to. For me, we're going to save that for later, because we got a couple things to do. As I mentioned, we're going to come down here and get this done first, then we're going to go visit the center of the map, and we'll probably wrap the episode there. So from here, we are going this way. And here is where we run into Darrowil. Now, if I remember correctly, you can summon Blaidd somewhere. I believe it is when you are in the jail. Yep, there he is. So if you want to summon Blaidd, you can. I am going to, just because it'll progress his quest line. Overall, this fight is very repetitive. He does the same moves all the time. So it's not super important to try to fight on your own. You do get a really good weapon, though. Like, this is one of your first somber weapons that you can get early in the game, and it's one of the best. Ooh, good move. Hey, Blaidd, are you going to help fight anytime soon, or are you just going to chill back there? Holy cow, Blaidd attacked. Woo! We did it. Good job, Blaidd. Good job, Blaidd. Thank you for getting me my Bloodhound's Fang. What a legend. And there is our bestest buddy.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize.
Excellent. Somber Smithing Stone 2.
Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Raya Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you, and he'll be sure to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon. That's enough chase time, we parted.
Alright, see you later, buddy. So, that is a huge chunk of Limgrave, but we are going to go a couple more spots that we got to get done. Let's see, where should we go next? What do my notes say? So I did do pretty much everything in order. Agile Lake North. Or actually, no, not Agile Lake North. Oh, I did not do that. That's right. Okay. Alright, we are going to go down here, and we're going to get this section done first, and then we'll probably finish the video with that, and just finish it up the random stuff that we haven't gotten yet in the game. So, we are going to start from... which one's the fastest? Probably Seaside Ruins. And then we're going to head towards the lake. We're going to do these runes really quick. There's not much here. Like, there's no crazy bosses or anything, but we want to just run in here. And there's two different spots that we're going to go to. One I want to show you is a trap. The other one gives you a twin blade weapon. So if you open this chest and you see smoke coming out, you unfortunately got the trap. You want to roll twice to get out of the way. That is your twin blade. That is the main thing that we can use here. This is a great weapon to put status effects on. This is your trap room. I will show you what I mean with the smoke if you've never ran into this stuff before. So please make sure you pay attention. Once we kill the rats, because the rats can actually prevent us from leaving the trap. So we actually get stuck in it because they will follow us into the room and stagger us, and then we get taken to a whole new area of the game, which I do not recommend happening now. So, from here, we're just going to lift the chest up, and we're going to roll away. If you get completely engrossed in that smoke, you are kind of screwed, and you're going to get teleported all the way over here and farther over there into Caelid, where, for lack of better words, most of the enemies are scaled towards mid to late game. And we are very much in the early game, you know, only being around level 25. So we're going to hop out of here because we've gotten the important stuff from the ruin, or from this ruins. And now we are going to head over this way, and let's see if I can show you where he comes in from. Ah, there he is. He's on the other side, that's right. So now we get to fight a cool dragon. So how you fight these dragons, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You want to be by the head. You don't want to whack the feet. You want to stay by the head because you can avoid a lot of his attacks and do a lot of jumping attacks like that to his head to do a boatload of damage to him. His attacks are pretty well telegraphed, and like I said, you can just sit here and do massive damage to his head, and then get your visceral attack before he stands up with 2 charge attacks. And look at that damage. And this is an unleveled up weapon, and I have barely done any leveling to damage at all. If you chop at its ankles, it does very little damage, which is why I recommend you go for the head. Whew! Staggered him again. This dude's gonna learn today. You don't mess with the future Elden Lord, baby. And that should be it. Beauty. Haha! Got him. What a fun fight. The dragon fights in this game are so much more fun than any other game that they've made. Well, except for maybe the dragon fight in Sekiro. That one's pretty fun too. Alright. So now we got our first dragon heart. If you wanted to, you can warp way over here to the Church of the Dragon Communion, and you can get your first dragon spell. I am not... I will do that probably way later when I have a boatload more dragon incantations or dragon hearts so I can get multiple spells to showcase for you guys. But we are going to go this way. We're going to pick up our fire grease. We're going to run past a boatload of enemies. We're also probably going to trigger an invasion, so be prepared for that as well. Yep, here comes our invasion. So for this invasion, it's a dude who's going to spam Blaidd, so he doesn't really have a lot of armor on, so you'll be fine. If you are also spamming Blaidd with your Uchigatana, you will be more than okay, as he is pretty weak to Blaidd himself. And since we talked to that samurai, he will also spawn in eventually, or he should spawn in eventually. Yep, there he is. Yura, you're supposed to help hit him. 30 damage, that's all you're doing? Come on, brother. How did that Ash of War miss? There we go. Keep spamming that, buddy. There we go. Teamwork makes the dream work. And now you got a really cool weapon. The Reduvia. The Reduvia is that bloody dagger that he's got that spams Blaidd left and right. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun weapon to do. Alright, now we're going to talk to him again.
I am Yura, tarnished. Held if you stay the path. Just remember. Don't let your emotions.
Alright. Now we're going to go this way. If, you know, my horse will be summoned. Because we have another catacombs to go through. And then we got one more cave to go through. And pretty much everything in Limgrave is done. We'll just have, I think, 2 more battles left. Or 2 more boss fights before we go into the castle. Stormvale Castle. Which that'll probably be its own episode. Because Stormvale is pretty long. Pretty large. I don't really want to get this episode going for 3 hours because we're already about almost at 2 hours, and I maybe got to take out like, I don't know, 5 minutes worth. So it's probably not the best idea for me as of right now to continue with this level longer, or this game longer than I should for each episode. So we got an enemy on the left, and another enemy should have spawned in. Yep, he drops down from forward, followed by another one that was hidden around another corner. Alright, what was this one called? I need to pull up my notes. Murkwater Catacombs. Alright. So this one's pretty simple and straightforward. Just avoid the big square in the middle. There's another trap. Dude, are you really just not going to do anything? Fine, we'll do this. Okay, boys. Enough is enough. You had your fun throwing stuff. And there's your lever. Probably one of the shortest, if not the shortest, that you could do for the catacombs. But again, watch out for the buttons, because there are still buttons, even right here, that you can do. And unfortunately, they won't hit them. You can use it to your advantage, though, as I have shown. How did you avoid all of those, you legend? I'm impressed. Oh, I heard another one. He must have jumped out from the side. Beauty. Alright, time for our boss fight. This boss fight is incredibly easy. You can just walk behind him and backstab. You can parry him. It's so much. It's such an easy fight. Honestly, if you die, I'll be impressed. Because he is just an absolute punching bag. Look at that health regen. I love it. Look at how easy that boss was. And we get another really good Ash, or Summon Ash, I should say. Pretty useful, pretty helpful. Oh god, which way am I going? That's very dark on my OLED. Almost. Let's see, do I have any? Oh, I got plenty. Alright, let's level up one more time. I think we should probably just level up strength for now. Yeah, we'll level up strength for now. I did say I was going to use a colossal weapon first. But that will be next episode. Or part 2 probably will be when I get it. So now, we're going to go back through this area. You can see Yura's gone. And you can see those jellyfish are there. They will not attack you unless you attack them or provoke them by running into them. So now, we're just running into the next cave, which is right down this river. It is right here. Now, in this cave, there's going to be a ambush. Or several ambushes. Honestly, this is the one cave you don't want to grab any items because it's just a mushroom. And it's honestly not worth fighting. I am blind. Oh my god. There we go. There's some color. So, honestly, it's best to just go to the right. And avoid all your problems. And go fight the boss. And the boss is a joke. Because it's Senor Patches. If you've played any of the other Souls games, you know who he is, you know what he does. But we come in here, we take his PJs, and then he gets mad and comes from behind and tries to stab us in the butt. So all we're gonna do is just beat him up a couple times. Once he starts crying and whining that we've done too much damage to him and ouch kabibbles McGee, he's gonna start begging for his life.
I surrender. White flag and all.
You can choose to kill him if you want, or we can just let him go and let him live. I like to let him live because he will give us a couple of gestures, or a gesture now, and then later in the game he becomes a market or another merchant. So he's useful, and we'll meet him again way later when we get to Altus Plateau.
Well, what do you know? How did I took you for an innocent water runner?
Forgive and forget.
I'm patches, tarnished like you. Only for now. In exchange for it, honestly, frankly. So don't be a stranger. I'll be ready to win. Don't forget. I'll be ready.
Alright, there we go. That cave is done. We have done pretty much everything. The only thing we have to do is right here, this little artist shack. So we're going to go to Agile Lake North and run to the shack. And the only thing left, honestly, is just a couple boss fights. Otherwise, we've done pretty much everything there is to do in Limgrave. Pretty wild that once you know where you're going, you can do everything in the game very fast. So, in here, I'm just going to grab the item. If you're looking for the dismounter, because I've talked it up enough and I've hyped it up enough, you can go grab it right there. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, as there's like 6 of them there. You also got a Grace here. Not really needed. And up here, forgot about this dude, but we got a beetle who will blow up. And now we are at our artist's shack, where there's a couple of items for us to grab and a picture. Really? You missed? Come on now. Come on, grab it. There we go. So how this works, essentially with the pictures, is you gotta be where the picture was taken from. So you're not trying to find the specific item or the specific location in the picture. You're trying to find where it was taken, which I believe is right over here. So far from the artist shacks that I found, I haven't been able to find all locations for these chairs, or for these artist seats, unfortunately. But I will be sure to make sure I find them before I tell you, or before I... Oh, stop it. Before I start posting the video, that way you guys do all know where this is. So, I got the Incantation Scarab, which is a headpiece. It likes to reduce FP costs for incantations, but it will increase your damage taken. Alright, so now, since we are far away from our enemies, we have a few spots left. Let's see, do I have a stone sword key? I don't think I do. Isn't there a merchant that sells one? I can't remember. We got a merchant there. I know one of these merchants sells it. Alright, I apologize. I am not going to be able to show you one section because I used Stone Sword Key already. So, what we are going to do is in the next episode, I will start, or I will make sure to include that part in the Weeping Peninsula episode, as that's what I will be covering next. But now, we're going to do a boss fight that is hidden, because we got a couple other boss fights to get done. Oh, excuse me. So, we gotta rest a couple of times. And eventually, Bernal will go away. I think I gotta pass time to night again. I gotta mix my physic, because this boss is definitely gonna be somebody I need to make sure I have it. So let's pass time till nightfall again. Still there, huh? Let's see, is he working? Bernal, what the heck? You're not supposed to be here anymore. I'm supposed to fight somebody. There we go. Now he's gone. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. And here is our boss. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Beauty. Alright, so now we're going to get out of the shack. And we're going to dodge all of his onslaughts of blades. Whew! So aggressive. Oh, good move, sir. This boss might take me a few tries. He's tough. Oh, good move. Whew! The range is unreal. Oh, he got me first. What a legend. Ouch. Well, no more heals. Gonna have to do this like the boss I am. Well. I told you this dude's tough. Try again. Alright, let's do this thing. There we go. I should also swap to that. Forgot about it. Oh, his AI's broken. There we go. That's what it was. Needed to put my talisman on. Knew I was forgetting to do something. No! I dodged the wrong way! Stay alive! What a dodge at the end, baby! That was awesome. Whoo! Alright. Well, that was like your hardest boss in Limgrave right there. But we got a couple bosses left. And then we are done. The next boss at night is going to be right over here. And this is why I waited until now to grab these items that I'm sure many of you are already aware of. But over here, in this statue, is a stone that we can use to upgrade. We just got to aggro one of these bad boys over here so they can knock it and we can grab it. How did you not hit this? How did you not hit this? There we go. Sorry, Torrent. I didn't mean to give you a spanking, but just needed the stones. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, big dog? Alright, then we grab our beast liver, and now we can run back to reset the area. We still want to keep it at night, because we have a Deathtouched bird to fight. And then after that, we've done pretty much everything in Limgrave. I'm going to take one last peek at my notes, as we will have... actually, nope, we got two bosses left. Deathtouched bird, and then my favorite boss in the entire game. And you might be like, we fight your favorite boss right away? Yes, yes you do, because you fight him a lot throughout the game. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. This is one of my least favorite bosses. Oh, you dodged, you legend. Thank you. Let me get the visceral. No! I'm gonna die. Oh, that was annoying. God dang it. Alright, round 2 and I ain't hear no bell. There we go. That's what I wanted. Boom, shakalaka. What you doing, bud? Nice. Heck yeah. Goat, leave me alone. Ram. Stop it. All you did was hurt yourself. Alright, let's grab my runes. Let's get out of here before those make me mad. Alright. Now we're going to head over to a different section. I'm just going to reset the world real quick so I can use my map. And I think I have enough to level up again, right? I do. Sweet. Let's get strength up to 20. Now, we are going to go over to Stormhill Shack. And we have my favorite boss in the game that we are going to beat. And I'm going to beat him by parrying. So we're going to run south this direction so we don't trigger any wolves. Then we're going to cut back to the east so we can get to another Everjail where we will run into our first Crucible Knight. I don't know what it is about Crucible Knights, but they are probably my favorite boss in the game. They're just so much fun. Both of them, the spear kind and the sword and shield kind. I just think they are amazing. I think they are very well designed, very fair. Oh, I love everything about them. And I genuinely mean that. Oh, come on. What? I do not have my parry timing down, can you tell? I literally just want to parry him to get to second phase, and then after that I'll fight him straight up. So let it happen, game. Let it happen. That's not right. There we go. Beauty. Excellent. Yeah, look at that. Thanks for letting it happen. You are wonderful. Alright, now that we are in second phase, I'm going to be done parrying. I'm going to fight him straight up. Oh. Yep, I saw that coming. Oh, good move. So the reason I'm fighting him straight up now is because I want to showcase both ways to fight him. In second phase, it's really the same thing. Like, there's no real difference. In parries, the only thing to watch out for is the dragon tail. Otherwise, everything else is pretty straightforward. And it typically follows it up with that big thrust with the tail. Dude, that's not nice. What? No dragon tail. People are gonna think I'm a liar. Let me see something. Nope, I don't have enough levels, I don't think. That's fine. Let me check again. Nope, no I do not. Dude, you are driving me nuts today. I got greedy. It's unfortunate. Alright, no more heals. Time to not suck. This is gonna take a while. I really should have upgraded my weapon. Take your time, sir. Oh, I dodged that. I respectfully disagree. Now I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die. 1 HP in a dream, baby. That's all I need. Woo! Jumped over that. Like the legend I am. Oh, you can't touch this. Nope. No touching. No touching, baby. 1 HP in a dream. Trying to be tricksy. Not gonna work today. Oh, we're right there, baby. The greed is so close right now. Like, it's creeping up. Oh, that was it. I should have ended it. Oh, well. I thought he was going to do a tail swipe. That's fine. Dude, why are you changing your tune? It's not fair. There it is. Aha! 1 HP in a dream! Woo! How much health do I have? Does it say anywhere? How much health? It doesn't say. What the heck? Do I need to go to status? Do I need to go to status? What is it? I gotta end the episode on this. Like, what's my health? 1 HP in a dream! Let's go! That's awesome! That's so cool! Now you see why I love that boss? Oh, boss, so much fun. So much fun. But I think we are going to end Limgrave there. I am right at 2.5 hours in terms of recording. So this will be about probably 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. So I will see you all in the next episode. I think there's very little left in Limgrave for me to do. Like, I might have missed, I got to check in my notes, I might have missed 1 cave, 1 catacomb, something like that. And then we're going to move into Stormvale Castle, and maybe we'll start on the Weeping Peninsula. But that's going to be all in the next episode. So thank you everybody for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a fabulous day, everybody.